to prepare for Saw X. Now, I've only seen the first couple of Saws, and I haven't really touched the sequels. I tried giving them a chance, but whenever I tuned in, it just looked like nonsense. But I figured, hey, Spiral is technically not part of the main series. It's its own thing. It's a spin-off. I'll be safe, and boy was I wrong. So is this one of the worst films in history? I think you could make a case for it being one of the worst, unfortunately. But is it all terrible? No, there's a few redemptive factors. In fact, thinking about this as I'm speaking, the ending was pretty solid. It's very contrived, but there we are, a lot of Saw is contrived. And there were a few good things in it, especially the cinematography. That was pretty excellent given the budget. So the look of the film is pretty strong. But beyond that, everything starts to go haywire. It starts off good. It has a very strong opening, introduction. Even when we get to Chris Rock and he starts joking, yeah, right away he starts joking, which put me on edge. But for a while, you're with the character. So at least I'd say the first third seems like it's going to go someplace, but then it just slowly degenerates, and almost everything is really dumb. The plot is dumb. Characters are dumb. Even the acting is okayish, but the direction is very weak. Just the way the camera's being moved sometimes is very amateurish. It feels like shaky cam for no reason. It just feels like what it is. It's a very cheap cash out. I don't think they're trying to destroy the series. It just feels that it was a fairly lazy attempt to reboot the whole thing without Tobin, start off with a new Jigsaw. In principle, it's a good idea. I don't have an issue with the political message, which at least that was consistent. I give them points for that, because that could have been totally exploitive, but they're at least consistent with the political message. It just felt very weak. It wasn't necessary. You're not losing anything by ignoring it. The good or bad, Saw X will address certain issues in Spiral. So I'd have to give it a fairly low grade. It's a 5 out of 10. It's not unbearable. It was insanely derivative. I felt like this was a Hellraiser sequel and had the same quality. It's just very cheap. Nothing really being brought to the table. After that first third, it's kind of like just boring slog. But I do think Chris Rock gave a genuine effort. I don't think they meant to do a bad sequel, but it is kind of just a complete mess all over the place with plot, characters. The twists are so predictable. It just drags and drags and drags. And this is technically a short film. It's really like an hour and 30 minutes, but I would say stick around for the ending. The ending was very strong. It's a very interesting conclusion, and it was very heartfelt. But boy, about 80% of this film was really pointless. Spiral, a very poor sequel.